kind of see me, folks, because I'm the after-house leading BETTLEJUICE.
Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice.
I'll eat anything you want me to eat. I'll swallow anything you want me to swallow.
Never understood why they spelled it like the star.
Beetlejuice.
What do we got here tonight, kids?
Beetlejuice was one of my favorite films growing up. It's such an odd movie. It's not really a horror or a comedy or anything in between. And it's also a movie without any real rules.
Hey, these aren't my rules. Come to think of it, I don't have any rules.
Sure, there was the Book of the Recently Deceased,
Handbook for the recently diseased.
but the audience never got more than a few rules out of it.
Never trust the living.
The fact that Beetlejuice became successful at all is outlandish. It's a movie with an outlandish storyline, equally outlandish characters, outlandish settings, outlandish art. But the most outlandish character was Beetlejuice himself.
Nice fucking model!
The anti-hero that you're not actually rooting for. You laugh at his antics and the silly stuff he says, but in the end, you're hoping he loses. He's bad. Nobody in the movie likes him. And once he's defeated, everyone's happy. But somehow, he became a lovable character. So much so, that he got his own cartoon, where he's now friends with Lydia. You know, the girl he tried to forcefully marry.
And you, do you, Lydia, take this man?
No! Beetle!
Oh. She's a little bit nervous.
When the movie hit in 1988, it felt like everything was Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice was everywhere. People were constantly quoting Beetle.
You said it twice, just say it once more, come on.
He loved pulling pranks. He lured bugs into his grave with candy bars. He went to strip clubs or brothels. This was always a weird scene. It definitely helped that the character was played by one of the greatest actors of our generation, Michael Keaton. By the way, Burton originally wanted Sammy Davis Jr. for the title role. Listen, I personally love Sammy.
And you know the winner will be $1 million!
Easy, take it easy now.
But Keaton was the right choice.
That is why I won't do 2 shows a night anymore, babe. I won't do.
Now you may be asking yourself, why Sammy Davis Jr.? The original script envisioned Beetlejuice as a squat, Middle Eastern, leather-winged demon who spoke with an African-American pidgin dialect. Seriously, I'm not making that up. Eventually, the character morphed into a semi-charming, sleazy car salesman type character, which was also different than the original idea, where Beetlejuice was supposed to be a homicidal maniac hell-bent on murder and rape. Either way, once it came out, it took off like wildfire, and we all know what happens when something becomes even remotely popular in the 80s.
Merchandising.
But before I go into my marketing rant, let's first touch on the cartoon, which was arguably even more popular than the movie. Running for 4 seasons, Beetlejuice, the animated television series, ran from September 1989 to December 1991. The 94 episodes were loosely based on the movie. The cartoon focused on the life of Lydia and her undead friend Beetlejuice as they explore the netherworlds. Now, I didn't really watch the cartoon. It may sound strange, but I didn't really like the idea of Beetlejuice being friends with Lydia. It was counter to the movie storyline. I'm a nerd. I have weird hang-ups like that.
I can't wait to tell Beetlejuice about my new job. Beetlejuice! Beetlejuice! Beetlejuice!
Beetlejuice! Babes, our anniversary party's tomorrow. You've got decorations to put up, party hats to make, food to catch. Save that guy for later.
So we're just gonna act like Lydia and Beetlejuice are friends now? And make jokes about the wedding thing? Aside from me wanting story continuity from a cartoon based off a movie with extra-dimensional sandworms, again, I'm a nerd. I know a ton of people who grew up loving the cartoon. So a popular movie plus a popular cartoon, and it's the 80s and 90s, equals
Merchandising.
There were sweaters, comics, dolls, board games, lunchboxes, puzzles, toys, Burger King toys, cards, bags, alarm clocks, color forms, creepy dolls. That is terrifying even for Beetlejuice standards. A gross out meter, Play-Doh sets, keychains, Halloween masks, a slot machine, snow globes, socks, nightmare fuel, coloring books, stickers, t-shirts, Funko Pops, watches, hats, Monopoly, Christmas ornaments, food bowls. Kinda want that food bowl. There was even a musical.
I can bring your daddy so much pain. All you gotta do is say my name.
Alright, stop. Dear God, stop. And let's not forget about the video games. There was Adventures of Beetlejuice, Skeletons in the Closet, released for MS-DOS in 1990. Beetlejuice for the NES in 1991. Beetlejuice Horrific Hijinks from the Netherworld for the Game Boy in 92. There was even a LEGO crossover game in 2017 for LEGO Dimensions. It's quite amazing how popular Beetlejuice still is after all these years. One strange little movie with no sequels. Though, Kevin Smith recounts being asked to rewrite a sequel called Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian. I am not joking. In the sequel, the Dietz family moved to Hawaii to develop a resort. The problem is, the resort is being built over the burial ground of an ancient Hawaiian kahuna. The spirit comes back from the afterlife to cause trouble, and Beetlejuice becomes a hero by winning a surf contest with magic. But it was probably for the best. I mean, realistically, the movie had so much going on, you could watch it over and over and still unlock new things about the characters, or story, or the universe it exists in. And you can't help but love Beetlejuice, no matter how bad he is. I mean, he's straight up malicious, but he thinks he's doing the right thing. His character seems to be stuck doing bad things through no fault of his own. Whether that's true or not is never revealed, but it makes Beetlejuice charismatic and fun to watch. Though, a part of me would love to see the ultra-violent version with Sammy Davis Jr., but I digress. So thank you for backpedaling with me. Why not leave me a like? Maybe even subscribe. And I'll see you next Saturday. I'm Tig, and you are